one actual player did give us something to talk about, and I think it's very worthwhile to talk about and very interesting if it becomes a possibility. Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd, who, shout out Tyler Boyd, made the 2024 class, or the class of 2024 Whippeal Hall of Fame here in the city of Pittsburgh, said that maybe he is open to playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He told Pittsburgh Sports Now, quote, "You never know. I love Coach Tomlin. He's probably one of the realest dudes in the sports business. Obviously, I played at Pitt, and I had a lot of run-ins with him and talked to him just about football. His personality is more like a father figure. It's a great connection, but who knows? Even if I don't go after this year, I could do a one-year deal at the end of my career and maybe finish up, but who knows?" Tyler Boyd is a free agent this season. His estimated Spotrac value is, we looked it up before we jumped on here, $8.7 million a year for a 3-year deal. And he's coming off of a 600-yard season, 2 touchdowns with Jake Browning leading the way for most of the season there at quarterback. Tyler Boyd hinting that maybe he does come to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Would you be all about it? Would you consider it if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, I'd be all about it from a personal perspective because I remember watching Tyler Boyd when he was in college, and I thought he was the greatest player ever. I still watch his highlight tape sometimes to this day, and he made some of the most ridiculous catches in college that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I think he's also been a productive receiver in the NFL. He's not terribly old yet, and he doesn't make that much money. Like, he's not a huge cap hit for the Steelers, and you compare that to what Allen Robinson was, like, what kind of money he cost the Steelers this year. Like, he was making $10 million. He was an $11 million cap hit, close to $12 million cap hit.
Yep.
You can get Tyler Boyd for $8 million.
$8 million.
It's a better player who is miles cheaper. And so Tyler Boyd had more than 650 yards. I think he had closer to 660 or something.
67 or something. 2 touchdowns.
Right. Like, I mean, that's miles better than Allen Robinson for a lot cheaper, for significantly cheaper. So I am all in on Tyler Boyd. I think he'd be a great help. Plays that slot role, the slot position that they really need. So I'm all about Tyler Boyd. Let's get him to Pittsburgh.
I agree. And I think it makes a ton of sense. I think that if he's open to it, why are you not making the phone call? If you're Omar Khan, just say, like, hey, why would you not come to the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't think there's anything there that holds you back. And when it comes to Cincinnati, they probably do want him back, but at the same time, they got to sign T. Higgins. They're working on an extension for Jamar Chase, most likely. They got a lot of guys that need a lot of money, and I don't think Tyler Boyd fits into that role. And maybe he does. Maybe they can't afford guys, and they're just like, all right, well, let's keep the guys that we could, and maybe Tyler Boyd is in that mix. If he's not, the Pittsburgh Steelers should certainly make a phone call. You could cut Allen Robinson for, save $10 million, get yourself under the cap space. You got to make a couple of other moves, but you could come up with $8.7 million easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm this would be like a bargain for a really reliable slot receiver target, a guy with experience, a veteran who could help out. Like, he could fill a lot of the same roles as Allen Robinson, probably better, and it's not costing you nearly as much money. Like, that alone just, I think, makes this attractive to me. And I think Tyler Boyd has some upside still that, like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. He's a talented guy. Like, I really like what he could bring. So I'm 1000% in on Tyler Boyd. Like, this should be a. Go ahead. No.
I also think that it helps Calvin Austin, because I don't want Calvin Austin to be like the full-time slot guy. I don't want him to be the true number. Like, I want Calvin Austin to expand on what he did this past season. I want him to be the guy who takes the end arounds, who runs the football sometimes, who goes deep. Like, I just want him to be that utility piece that the Steelers could just be like, all right, you are very fast. Go do very fast things across the field. And I don't want him to be strictly in the slot. I also don't want Deontay Johnson in the slot. Sorry, just don't. He's not that good in the slot. He's a much better X. That is what he plays his best at, and I think you could utilize him there. And George Pickens, I'm definitely not putting in the slot, because that guy's a maniac, and you could just really toss him everywhere. Tyler Boyd, like a solidified slot that is much better than Allen Robinson, much more reliable than. And I'm not saying Allen Robinson wasn't reliable, but Tyler Boyd's going to be there for clutch moments. Tyler Boyd's going to make an impact on this off roster more than catching third down passes, in the fourth quarter just to keep drives alive, which is very important. Don't get me wrong, but you want more than that out of your guys. I think Tyler Boyd I agree with you. I'm 100% in on Tyler Boyd. I don't even have to look at the rest of the free agency, because if he's the option, I'm going after him.
Right, absolutely. And like, yeah, it's no disrespect to Allen Robinson, but
No.
I mean, he had 280 yards this year, no touchdowns. Like,
exactly.
sorry, that's like not good enough. Like, I don't really care how much veteran leadership you're providing. Like, we need someone who can actually play football, can actually, really contribute on this team. So, yeah, Allen Robinson, nice dude, but the Steelers need something different. They need something a little bit more dynamic, and I think Tyler Boyd can bring that.
Yeah, agreed. You sign him for you feeling comfortable with the $8.75 million a year, 3 year. Let's get the exact number here. 3 year, $26.1 million.
3 years seems like a long time, but I think
agree.
2 years. I mean, 2 years I feel like would be ideal. 2 years at that $8 million. I mean, you could even, I don't know. I guess you wouldn't want to stretch it up to 10 or whatever, even if you're going 2 years. But I mean, I'd be
no,
fine
8.7.
with that, I guess.
He's sitting there too. Like just to compare where he is roughly, because Spotrac gives you a little bit of everything here. Adam Thielen, who's 32 years old, who also had a 1,000-yard year. Adam Thielen's one of the greats. Signed a 3 year, $25 million. He's $8.3 million a year. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who I think everybody has mixed opinions on this season. 3 years, $10 million a year. Alan Lazard, who barely played this season, 4 years, $11 million a year. I think that's a bargain. Like, I think Tyler Boyd at $8.7 million, $8.75 million, and I think he'd be worth it just to go to a team where he thinks that they're almost there. They're a playoff team. He's familiar with them, and obviously the Coach Tomlin effect, I think it plays a role. I'm all in on Tyler Boyd. I think that's a great move. Hopefully the Pittsburgh Steelers could pull that one in.